Like, I'm serious. Basketball's done. There's
You can
Iowa v.
always record it.
We'll record it. Yeah, but what else is there going on besides? I mean, maybe you have a wedding or something. If you think that's important, fine. But Ohio State spring game. It's on Fox. Mark, I have to say, I have to bring this up before we go, and we don't have to stay on it.
I know what you're going to bring up.
What am I
Here
going to
we
bring
go.
up? What am I going to bring up?
I know what you're going to bring up.
18,000 viewers. 18,000
million would be.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. 18,000 wouldn't be bad at all. Would be bad, but 18 million. That's. I mean, you got to admit that's crazy. It's. I would have never expected that. Ever.
It's only 1 million less than the Ohio State Michigan game last year.
I looked that up this morning. I'm like, how much is Ohio State million? Because you follow this stuff a lot closer than I do.
And that was a very high year for that game as well. So I'm not pretending like that's the figure for Ohio State Michigan every year.
No, I'm blown away by that number. And again, with Caitlin gone, who knows if that can in any way remain for the postseason, these big games. But it's something that I would have never anticipated.
I highly anticipate that that's going to have a large impact on the game going forward in a positive way. It may not be able to be sustained at that level, but certainly there are going to be large portions of this country that are going to stick with women's college basketball.
And that's from a selfish standpoint. First of all, I've grown to love women's college basketball, at least Iowa specifically. I'm not sitting down watching, LSU and Kentucky, but it's good for business for me. I mean, because these Iowa fans on the channel, they love them some Iowa women's basketball, and I love talking about it. So it's great. I would have never expected it even a year ago with Caitlin Clark's second to last season. I would never expected the jump that we saw this season. So, and it was incredible. Really, really. I mean, I say this genuinely. I know I try to take an objective look at this team, and we did like a 3-hour post-game show with Kasheen Alexander on Sunday. But it was, I tweeted this out Sunday night. I genuinely felt a different type of sadness Sunday because I do think, and we've talked about how generational Caitlin is and what she's done for the sport. I think it's like we've all appreciated that, but I think some people to different levels. And these last couple of weeks have started to maybe fully realize that she could have the type of impact on this sport. Let me make sure I'm clear on this. The type of impact on this sport that the greats in so many other sports had on their respective sports, whether that be Tiger Woods, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan. Now, it may not translate to the pro level. You and I have talked about that. We'll see. But I do think we're going to look back and be like, wow, what not just a player, but a group of seniors. It's just sad to see them all leave on the loss, but what a 2-year stretch for that group to get to 2 national championships, and played really well Sunday at stretches, but just they were playing a team with a giant inside that was 6'7", and a lot of other really skilled players. So anyways, sad to see it all come to an end, but it was a fun ride.
I was out and about on Sunday afternoon, and I heard a first half score. And the first thing that I thought of was, why is this game being played in the afternoon? The women's national championship game was always played on Sunday night.
Well, last year it was afternoon as well.
Oh, okay.
Both years it was after. I don't know why. You would think they'd get even better ratings at night. If you're on ABC in the evenings, you'd think you'd get even better. I don't know. And what's really strange is that UConn game Friday. That game was late. That game was extremely late. They finished that game. I mean, especially if you were a UConn fan, that game ended at like midnight. So, I mean,
I think you just answered my question for me. The women's national championship game used to always be on ESPN. So it's been moved to ABC. It was on ABC?
It was on ABC and ESPN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't bringing 18 million on ESPN exclusively. that was
because not that they couldn't have at one time, but the universe of ESPN viewers has shrunk so much.
Yeah.
30 million.
Yeah.
Less subscribers.
I find that odd too. It's kind of like how they've scheduled Big Ten baseball tournament. Some of these schedules, like with quick turnarounds, don't make any sense. And I think TV dominates a lot of it, but why? What was going on ABC late? That's you would think that maybe that'll change next year, given the fact that they brought in these numbers.
Yes.
But you'd think they'd be like, okay, we have to make this a priority over everything else. But anyways.
Because yes, it's a primetime event for a primetime audience on ESPN. And I'm talking before this phenomena. I'm talking about when it was drawing, I don't know, probably 4 to 6 million viewers 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So ESPN's universe shrinks. So I understand the moving to ABC, and then they figure, okay, this can't compete. We want to capitalize from a national over the air audience, but it's not going to compete against whatever we typically show on Sunday night. But then, like you say, these numbers may get them to reconsider for next year.
Yeah.
Because there are not primetime shows on network television anymore, I don't think, getting 18 and 19 million viewers.
Yeah. No, I've been a huge homer with these discussions with you about viewership and women's college basketball, but I really was just like blown away when I was looking at those numbers and how they compare to other events. But good for the sport, good for Iowa, good for everything. It was fun to do post game coverage as long as we did, and we'll be back next year. It'll be different, but we'll do it again next year.